This is Economy Watch, what you need to know about New Zealand's economic life today. Brought to you by interest.co.nz.
Kia ora, and welcome to Friday's Economy Watch, where we follow the economic events and trends that affect Aotearoa. I'm David Chaston, and this is the international edition from interest.co.nz, and today we lead with news that the start of summer in the Northern Hemisphere is bringing excessive heat and ominous food security and immigration implications. But first, initial US jobless claims slipped slightly last week after the prior week's rise. They remain low at 227,000, even if the level is its highest since February. There are now 1.7 million people on these claims, little change from the prior week. No real sign of building labour market stress here yet. Meanwhile, housing starts in the US fell 5.5% to an annualised rate of just under 1.3 million in May, the lowest since July 2020. April was downwardly revised. This unexpected decline shows that high interest rates are still weighing on the housing market. New building consents fell slightly too. This result came before the slight easing of mortgage interest rates in June. And the Philly Fed's Business Outlook June survey showed general activity edged lower but remained positive, while shipments and new orders remained mildly negative. These results were slightly less than expected. We noted the extreme heat in northern India and the Middle East in yesterday's report, while it has extended into the eastern US as well, with a major heat dome there too. It too is life-threatening for some. And we've noted before that severe drought and heat waves are gripping much of China's key agricultural areas. It's not getting any better there either. And China's lone prime rates remain unchanged at record lows after yesterday's Chinese central bank review. Across the Formosa Strait, Taiwanese export orders rose 7% year-on-year in May, more than expected, but slowing from the 11% growth in April. The tech powerhouse country continues to benefit from a surge in AI applications, but demand also rose for chemical products. The steady improvement in consumer sentiment in the EU was evident again in their June survey, although the improvement was slightly less than anticipated. Staying in the region, the Swiss central bank cut its key policy rate by 25 basis points to 1.25% at their June meeting overnight, following a similar move at their previous meeting. This was as expected. Underlying inflationary pressure is easing and the Swiss franc is strengthening, so it's an easy decision for them. Meanwhile, the English central bank also held its review and kept its policy settings pat at a 16-year high, as expected. But they did indicate that rate cuts are coming there soon, mainly because of progress in getting inflation down. Last week, the rise in container shipping freight costs accelerated again, up 7% from the prior week to be 233% higher than a year ago. China to Europe rates were especially hard hit last week. Bulk freight rates were up 6% last week to be 80% up from this time last year, but that was an unusually low point, to be fair. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now at 4.26% and up 3 basis points from this time yesterday. And the price of gold will start today up $26 at $2,355 an ounce. And oil prices are up 50 US cents at $81 a barrel in the US, while international Brent price is at $85 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar starts today a little softer at just under 61.2 US cents. Against the Aussie, we're marginally firmer at 92 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're unchanged at 57.1 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today unchanged too at 70.7. And the Bitcoin price starts today at $64,672 and down 0.6% from this time yesterday. Volatility over the past 24 hours has again been modest at just on plus or minus 1.5%. You can find links to the articles mentioned today in our show notes, and you can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again on Monday.